Hello guys, and welcome to OpenRA Strategies with me, MajorSmurf. And I'm just going to quickly switch off the tennis. I'll be right back to do some of this beforehand. There we go. Ooh, I should have done that before I started recording, but because I've started, I'm not going to. Now, I haven't done strategy for a while, so I haven't even played OpenRA for a while, but I still love the game. So you're gonna have to give me a bit of leeway when I talk about stuff, because I am a very forgetful person, sort of. So let's get into here. Yeah. Now, for this strategy, you'll require a friend. So I'm gonna go for. So you need at least one friend with you. I'm going to go for doubles, because that's quick. I don't know, I'm going to go tank AI, and then easy AI. I don't know what that means, but let's go with it. 13, 1, 2, then the thing is that I reckon. So, let's just. Now, I'm not going to talk about the strategy just yet. I just want to say thank you for watching this series. Jesus, fucking AI is going on a fucking ball. Now, let's start talking about the strategy. So basically, you have to build up a bit first. You can't do the strategy straight away. So, basically what you want to head for is the war factory. Obviously you've got to defend yourself a bit, but basically, what your friend does, your friend is going to be the attacking force, and you are going to be supplying them the money to supply them that. That's basically what the strategy is. You are basically being a supplier of money, and then you're funding all of that thing. Now, all you need is the war factory, and then obviously you just need to be producing a shit ton of money. Which is easier said than done. Now, what I'm hoping... it takes forever. When this war factory is done... So, basically, the whole point is that you did... So, let's split it into two parts. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. You are the money giver. You are the provider of the money. You give them all the money that they ever need, and then they keep producing out the units. They keep spamming, and all you're doing is you're spamming ore trucks, and defensive buildings. Now, that might sound difficult, but it's not. It's a pretty good tactic to use, unless there are a couple of disadvantages which I'll go over at the end of the thing. But I just want to give you a bit of gameplay just to show you that this... I'm not sure if this will work with AI, but it will work with a friend online. So, don't really try this with AI. I'm having to do it with AI because I can't load Steam, and I can't get on someone. Now, you know when I clicked Tank AI, I instantly thought that this guy would be getting quite a lot of tanks. As it turns out, he's not. So obviously, you as the provider of money have got to build a shit ton of ore trucks. And your attacking person has got to try to defend you as best he can. Now, this could be a disadvantage because obviously that means that it's going to take them more time to produce stuff. Because obviously, if you've got two separate people and you're each producing 5 light tanks each, they're going to be quicker produced than they're going to be quicker coming out than someone who's building 10 light tanks from 1. And also, you can't build multiple buildings in this game because that doesn't work. You can do it to in case one of them gets destroyed, and then you can just produce from that one. But it doesn't work for multiple units. So if you've got 2, it's not going to produce 2 at the same time. At least I don't think it does. I never know. I might be wrong. So basically, what you do is you build this little guy here, and then you do that. Now, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I'm not worried about the AI. So, hopefully I've given you the basics of this thing. So you, the money giver, are the defender of the base and are supplying the money to the attacker force so that it can build up units. So that's what you do, you just right click it and then you watch this guy just go all the way over it and give them the money. And there you go. You've just given away 500 quid. Now it is only 500 quid, you can't make it more. The only way you can provide more money is by, obviously, producing more supply trucks. That's obviously how it works. So you obviously don't have to build up a lot of units. All you really need is ore factories, power plants, and stuff like that. That's basically all you need. You don't have to worry about any of the stuff. That's it. That's not your responsibility. So also, if you're playing with a new person, you don't want to try this strategy because it won't work out very well. You need 2 experienced players of the game, in theory, because, well, obviously experienced players are always better than people who don't know what they're doing, but stuff like that. So basically, all the attacker force has got to do is to produce the power for his units to defend. He doesn't have to worry about defending the base. He doesn't have to worry about building anything. All he's got to do is just build his units up. That's all he's got to do. That is it. And I think this is a pretty good tactic. This is one of my better ones. I don't think I've done Demolition Derby yet. That's another strategy that I'm going to be doing, but I'll get around to that. So that's all this to the strategy. You just build up more units, and then build up more units, and that's it. That is all that you have to do. Now, one of the things I hate about online games on this game is that you face some really experienced players. Some people who are very good, and you get your ass kicked. I really don't win many games on this. It's not that I'm bad at the game. I think I'm pretty decent at the game, you know, but I understand the basics. I understand that you should build units, how to build units, when to build power, you know, what buildings are effective against what, so obviously. Now, for whatever reason, they seem to like to build online. I'm going to give you a tip here, but they like building artillery. So I'd say stay away from massing infantry online. It doesn't work very well. But what does work very well is, now as you can see, this is the problem, because obviously you've got to try to supply the money, but you've got to build ore trucks at the same time to supply that money. Now obviously this isn't working well with this guy because he's building a shit ton of ore trucks, but you sort of get the idea of what. Let's see what he gets. There we go, an up rank. Now, the only thing about building just ore trucks separately is that they've got to wait in line to give the ore to that factory. So if you got masses of them, look, they're just kind of like wait outside and can't load it up yet. So it's always good to build, but they'll always go to the closest one, even if there's one that's empty and not being used. They'll still go to the closest one, which is a bit, I'm not sure about it, but you know. Now, what I love to say is that I think this strategy is pretty effective. Cancel. And then let's just get. Now they are pretty quick, these supply trucks. You know, 12 seconds. That's not too bad. Now, obviously, as I said, you should be worrying about defensive. So mainly, I think that the money giver should be Russian. That's how I feel. I think he should be Russian, because Tesla coils are twice as powerful as the turrets and have a longer range and are probably more effective against tanks and stuff. You know, the turrets and the pillboxes don't have as great as range and are a bit. I'd say, I wouldn't say nerfed, but I'd say a bit under thinged. Look at that flame tower. It's just like destroying them like instantly in the Tesla coil. Like, yeah. Now, you can obviously, there you go. Now, I think you can give it into other buildings as long as it's an ally. So I'm just going to try this. I want to see if does that work? Yeah. So you can put it into any building you want. So basically, he could have a building practically right next to you, and you'd be able to supply him with money. I didn't know that. I just found that out. So that's the tactic. I'm going to quickly go over to PowerPoint and give you the advantages and disadvantages. Hopefully you enjoy this tactics. Hopefully you enjoy this kind of thing, you know, talking about what you can do, stuff like that. If there's anything I can do to improve the content of this video, I'd like you to say, you know, leave a comment, leave a like. But I'm going to leave this here. I'm not going to show you if I win or not, because this could go on for fucking hours. And I can't be bothered to record for that long. I enjoy short videos. So you can go screw yourself. But hopefully you've got the general idea. One of your teammate is attacking and you're supplying the money. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's nothing else to it. But let's go to the PowerPoint. Hello guys, and here's the advantages and disadvantages for the strategy that I just showed you. So let's go over the advantages first. Attack is only focused on attacking and making units. This means that he doesn't have to. It means that he doesn't have to worry about defending the base. He doesn't have to waste money on building defense units. He doesn't have to worry about anything like that. He can just attack the guy and take him out quickly, and hopefully win you the battle. Now, the other advantage is that the money giver can defend the base and supply the money to the other guy, so he doesn't have to build up ore trucks and stuff like that. You're basically just building up the ore trucks for yourself and supplying them. And supplying him with the money to build the units. Now, this is great for building up a huge attack force over a longer period of time. But of course, this leads to the disadvantage. If any teammate falls or gets killed or is wiped out, it is game over. So, for this tactic to be effective, you need to be pretty close to your teammate. This isn't going to work over, you know, on an island map. This isn't going to work if you're over one side of the map and he's over the other side, because basically your supply truck is most likely going to get killed or destroyed or most likely get lost somewhere or stuff like that. Now, obviously another disadvantage is that this needs coordination and good teamwork. So the attack gets to be attacking and you've got to be supplying the money so you can keep shooting out units quickly. If you don't supply the money, you know, say you walked off for, say you're not communicating properly, you're not going to supply him the money. He's going to run out, and he's going to die, and then you're going to die because you don't know. You've probably got a couple of Tesla coils, but that's about it. Have fun with that. It's going to last what, 2 minutes? Now, I'd say that this would work very effectively if you're in a bigger team than two. It works if you've got 2 people. If you've got more, I think that would work better. So if you've got, I'd say it probably works best with 3 or 4 guys. So you can have, so with 3 you can just have 1 guy supplying the money and then the other 2 attacking. Or with 4 you could have 2 and 2 or 3 and 1. So the more people you have, you know, you can dish out. So 1 guy could just build tanks, 1 guy could just build infantry, 1 guy could just build aircraft. That's how it should work. And I think that would work pretty well. I'd like to say. So, I'd give this strategy 8 out of 10. There are ways to easily combat this. And you might have to give this, you know, a couple of tweaks to the strategy, you know, make it a bit more effective. But, I'd also like to add in a strategy here. If you're about to die, and you've still got your, war factory somewhere towards the back, that means you can quickly supply all the money to your allies, and then you're not really wasting your money. You're giving it to your allies so that they can defend themselves from this attack. I'd say that's another advantage. I'd say. You could also do that if you're about to be destroyed on the attack, and you can quickly give all your money away to someone. Obviously, try not to get them destroyed, so probably build your war factory somewhere away from the enemy, where the enemies can't get easily. Now, the one thing I have to say is that artillery needs to be nerfed. That's one thing I need to say. I think they're too powerful at the minute. That's all I've got to say. So hopefully you like. Hopefully you don't give me a middle finger. Hopefully you enjoy this series. If you don't, you can go fuck yourself. But that's just. And why are you even watching if you don't like this? Why are you watching? Go away. Scram. Screw. I was just trying to do a whistle there, but it failed. So that's what I think. I think it's a pretty good strategy. You can give it a go. Tell me how it goes. You know, tell me if you've used any of my strategies. That'd be nice to hear. Oh yeah, I tried out give them the money, and that worked out very well for me. Thank you for showing me this, because that always makes me feel good. You know, yeah, I helped this guy out. But I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of OpenRA Strategies, and hopefully I haven't just talked or stopped halfway through a sentence like I usually do. If I have, I apologise. That's just the kind of person I am, because I'm a scatterbrain. So I'm going to leave it there, which I probably said about 2 minutes ago. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I'm going. See you next time on OpenRA Strategies.